Welcome to another episode, everyone. Did JHood from Stevenson Village Crip snitch on his case? Did he go to a PC yard? Protective custody yard? Did he go to a 50-50 yard? There's been a lot of talk about this situation. People were even saying in my comments, bro, this dude went to a PC yard, etc. Some individuals were saying that he was a tattletale, a Sammy the Bull, a rat. Let's see, man. Let's get into it. JHood speaks on it himself about what happened with the situation there in prison and how and if he had ended up on a PC yard. I'll let him speak for himself. Let's get into it.
Yo, but okay, so you ended up taking the stand in your own trial.
Yeah, and I admitted that's why I'm not comfortable saying like, hey, yes, I unalived this dude, but I did plan to unalive this dude, and I'm sorry that I did it, and that's sincere. I'm sorry. Shout out to the victim family. You feel me? I did not mean to take your people away from him. I did not mean to take him away from y'all, and I apologize for that. And if there's anything I can do to help y'all, and I hope y'all can forgive me, you know?
The biggest thing right there.
I forgave myself. God has already forgiven me. I hope y'all can.
Say that again.
But so, okay, you got...
This guy again. This guy. Say that again. This guy. Well, it's good that you forgive yourself, JHood. I forgive myself. God has forgiven me. Well, we don't know that. And so I hope y'all can forgive me too. Like saying, who are y'all not to forgive me? God forgave me. I forgave myself. Yeah, well, they may not be inclined to forgive you for taking their loved one away from them, bro. Regardless, if your God forgave you or not, maybe their God says not to forgive you. I mean, I'm just saying, man.
Some shit while you were inside for taking the stand in your situation?
Shit for all type of stuff.
So explain how that went down.
First, the politics in jail, or okay, California has the strictest politics on everything. They'll call you a snitch for anything, right? And literally, that's why in jail they'll call you this. Yo, in California, they call your cripping or your blooding or your southsiding or your press, your gangbanging a career. Even though it don't come with no 401k, no retirement fund, none of that. They call it a career. You feel me? And everybody want to have the best career. Everybody want to, you feel me? So people, it's like,
so what happened? We get that. We know what California gang banging is. We know the codes, bro. What happened?
It's a favoritism game, right? So, yeah, I got voted out, you know.
And this is while you're still in the county?
No, hell no.
Oh, this is, okay.
In prison, I got into it with some older cats. I got I got lied on, you know, but it is what it is. You feel me? I ain't ashamed of nothing. Dead homies. And that's when I really start feeling like this shit was bullshit, because I'm like, damn, y'all talking about this. What about the last 10 heads I done bust? What about the 50 stabbings I done did? What about me being shot on camera and nobody going to jail for it? What about me standing tall in the paint? What about like where's my due process?
And because you took the stand just to basically say I was defending myself, you didn't actually tell on anybody, right?
No.
And nobody even really thought you did.
Went to jail.
No, nobody was accusing you of that. They just said, "Oh, a Crip should never take the stand."
Yeah. I have never put like this. Nobody has ever did an hour in jail, a second in jail for anything I have ever said. It has never been my intention for anyone to go to jail for anything that I have said. And if there's nobody that in prison or has ever been to prison that can say, hey, JHood is the reason why my cell got searched, my house got searched, anything. There's nobody that can.
I get it. I get that. But we want to know what happened. I still want to know what happened. Sort of glossing over it a little bit Adam is not really asking the correct questions to really get to the bottom of it. So, okay, so far we know that apparently he got on the stand. I'm really getting some of this from the comments. Maybe they're going to get deeper into it. I did read the comments on this. Some people were on JHood's side. Some people were not. Some said that he was a snitch. Bro, you got rolled up off the yard. Just say that and move on. Others said, man, he didn't snitch. Because I guess what it looks like from what I'm gathering just from the comments, not even from this interview so far, is that JHood got on the stand in this case, and I don't want to misspeak here because I'm just trying to gather this myself. As I said, I'm not 100% sure on this, but it sounds like from what I have gleaned so far that JHood got on the stand in his own defense, in his own trial. And I suppose he said on the stand that he killed the individual because the individual was trying to kill him. So he was saying that it was self-defense. So I guess the individuals were saying that he snitched because he got on the stand, period. Because he got on the stand and because he said that the individual was trying to kill him. Like you snitched on the individual because you said the individual was trying to kill you. Well, first of all, the individual is dead now, so I didn't snitch on him. They can't dig him up and take him to the penitentiary. So I didn't snitch. He's dead. And if I'm trying to get out of the case, you're damn right I'm going to say, well, hell, he was trying to kill me, so I killed him. Yeah, self-defense. Yeah, that's not snitching to me, bro. I'll say the same damn thing to a person that's dead now. That's not snitching, as far as I'm concerned. So if that's how it happened, then no. I don't think that that's snitching. That's just my opinion, if that's how it happened. But I don't know what the heck happened so far because whatever happened, as he said, he got voted off of the yard. So whatever happened, the individuals there on the yard felt like he had snitched or had went too far. Yes, in California, the politics are indeed strict. And you cannot flout the rules and or the protocols or there will be hell to pay. But at the same time, these rules are taken serious as far as they're not going to just jump on you or stab you up or beat you up or what have you without justification, without them feeling like they're justified in doing this. Everyone has someone to answer to. So the fact that these individuals came to that conclusion with all of the evidence that they had, whatever that is, I'm trying to see what evidence it is. I'm trying to see, because he's not really saying right now why they made that decision. He said that he was voted off. Well, because he got on the stand, it sounds like, okay, what did they say when they voted you off? Are they saying that you snitched? Obviously they are. They voted him off. Why did they say this? Just because you got on the stand? Or did you say something else on the stand? And you got voted off. What does that mean exactly? I know what it means, but did they attack you, stab you, beat you? And did you go to a PC yard or a 50-50 yard? Really, in my estimation, they are one and the same. But you do have just an all-out PC yard, and then you have so-called 50-50 yard, where half are PC and half are not. Supposedly, from what they were saying before, that's where JHood was at, on a 50-50 yard. But see, and this is the reason that I say that the 50-50 yard is the same as a PC yard, because he got removed from the yard. He got voted off. He got removed. In whichever way, perhaps we get to how he got removed, whether he was stabbed up or whatever. I don't know. But he got removed. That's what it was supposed to be. I'm just saying what the rules are. You've been voted off because they're saying you're a snitch. You're supposed to get stabbed up because you're a snitch. That's it. So however he got removed, because it doesn't always happen that way. That's how it's supposed to happen. But however it happened, they removed him from the yard, voted him off and removed him. And then where does he go? To a 50-50 yard. No, once you get voted off and stabbed up, you're PC. Either going to another main line because you're not PC. The stabbing didn't warrant you to lose your career, so you just go to another yard, or you go to a PC yard. So if they send you to a 50-50 yard after being stabbed up and or just voted off of the yard, and now you can't be on the main line anymore, and the remedy for that is a 50-50 yard, then it's a PC yard. Because you can't come on the main line. You just got voted off. People getting stabbed up, removed from the yard, and then go to a 50-50 yard. You PC now. You just went to a PC yard because you just got stabbed up. They're one and the same.
Ever say that. There's nobody can ever say JHood did some buster shit. JHood didn't want to fight. JHood didn't do. There's nobody who can.
And we get all of that, bro. I get that as well. He was saying earlier, what about the 10 heads that I busted? What about the 50 dudes that I just recently stabbed up? And what have you. And again, my young homie, No Love. Shout out to my guy. He was telling me on the phone recently, a few days ago, bro, you should remember JHood. He was in Wayside with us. My boy's locked up right now. He's in a pen right now. And, I don't want to say exactly where he's at with his phone or what have you, but he's locked up and we were going over this. He was like, man, probably after I did one of the reactions to JHood or something, somehow he came up and he was like, bro, you should remember him. He was there. His name was ringing a little bit. He was in there squabbling. I said that before the other day in one of the videos. This is what my guy had told me. No, he was putting in work, bro. He was squabbling. He was a beast. Whoa. This is what he said about JHood. And I don't know, maybe I did remember, maybe I do remember his name a little bit there. I should. He was there in Wayside with me and what have you. When I think about it, perhaps. But, and JHood is sort of alluding to that here, that, man, what about all the fighting that I was doing? What about all the work that I have put in? Forget all that. All that just goes down and y'all just going to vote me off in spite of everything else. And he's saying now that I've never got anyone locked up. I've never got anyone cell hit, this and that. Bro, we're not talking about any of that. Whether you got someone cell hit, whether you ever got someone, we're talking about what happened in the trial on the stand. That's it. Everything else is a smokescreen, is a distraction. Let's stick to that and clear that up. Because at the end of the day, you had better best believe that none of that stuff matters. The 10 heads that you bust, the 50,000 people that you stab, none of that matters whatsoever if you turned around and snitched. I don't know that he did. I'm gonna let him speak for himself. He said that he's never got anyone locked up. And again, I already said that in my mind, it's not snitching if you get on the stand and someone was trying to kill you and you killed the person, he's dead now, and then you get on the stand and say, well, he was trying to kill me, so I killed him. Hell no, that's exactly what the hell I'm gonna say. If it's gonna stop me from getting life in prison, I'm not snitching on him, he dead. As I said, they can't cuff him up or resurrect him and take him to prison because based on what I said. So I wouldn't see that as snitching. That's just me. Some people may still say, no, that is snitching, bro. And you a snitch. They might say that about me now. I don't know. I don't care. I'm saying, in my opinion, that's not snitching. Nevertheless, if it happened that way, and again, I'm trying to get to the bottom of exactly what happened. But still, understand that just as I have said, it takes 20 seconds to get into trouble and it takes 20 years to get out of trouble. It's the same for your reputation. And the opposite. It takes 20 years to build your reputation and it takes 20 seconds to lose it. I've seen it a million times over. Someone, their whole life, their whole career, they stood strong, they stood tall, they were reputable, respected in their neighborhood, to the highest degree. Feared, everything else. And then they make one bad decision, they do one wrong thing, and all of that goes out of the window. Their reputation is forever sullied, no matter what you have done in the past. Yes, it's the same as if, like, when you have friends, family, what have you, and you're generous with these individuals. You tell them yes 50 times to whatever the request is. And then when you say no one time, the only thing that they're going to remember is the one time that you said no. They never remember the 50 times that you said yes. They never remember the 50 times that you acquiesced and that you looked out for them. The only thing that they're going to harp on is the one negative thing in their mind is negative. The one time that you said no for whatever reason. And all of the good that you have done goes out of the window. They're focused on the one negative. It's the same really with the culture. You're a gang member and you have a strong reputation for whatever the reason is that you have cultivated this reputation. Yes. Because I'm saying, he says, does it all go out the window? What about the 10 heads I bust? What about the 50 stabbings or what have you? No, sir. No one cares about any of that in that moment. The only thing they care about is what you just did in court and on that stand. That's it. Because if you snitched, then no, none of that matters. Like it did not matter to them when they voted them off. What about all this work I put in? No, sir. We don't care about that. So you do everything right in your hood and for your hood, and then you do one thing for 50 years, and then you do one thing bad, or you do 50 things right, and you do one thing bad, and everyone is only going to remember the one bad thing. They may mention other stuff, man, he was strong, he was a beast, man. Well, they're going to go right back to, but damn, man, he snitched, man. After all that, turn around and snitch. So I'm just saying that to answer his question, what about everything else I've done prior? Does all of that go out of the window? The answer is yes, it goes out of the window. Nobody cares. You have to stay strong your entire life until you die. You can't stay strong for 60 years, and then on your 61st year, you do something unbecoming of a gangster, then your prior 60 years doesn't matter. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way that it is.
Say that. There's nobody, that person does not exist. And if that person exists, let's meet up, and then let's talk like adults. Or we can chop it up, we can do whatever, but I'm gonna tell you lying. You feel me? I wanna see it. But that's why I'm outside, bro. I'm outside. I've been everywhere they say I can't go. And I'm outside every day, dead homies. And I'm gonna keep being outside.
So you think people were just politicking on you because they wanted to be in your spot, or they
didn't want me to go home? They was joking.
Yeah, you got,
I know they
got
would.
in there. That's when niggas what? His situation too? Like what?
So then did you have to be on like a different yard, or like how did that work?
It came to a point when the homies was like, hey, look, we know that this is some bullshit, but we want you to, like the next mission on you, next 5 on you. I'm like, all right, that's nothing. I go. That's easy. But for what weapon? So you telling me you want me to hurt somebody on camera after I just spent 8 years fighting my case? I'm like, man, shit, nigga. If y'all telling me that in order, that's when I start to feel like, oh, they're not even trying to find out the truth. They're just trying to secure me a life sentence. They just don't want me to go home.
That's deep.
You feel me? So,
and that's like a cautionary tale for the kids out there, is that if you really
okay, and so then what happened? I don't want to assume anything or draw my own conclusions, bro. But I'm not stupid by a long shot. So what happened once they tried to put you on to this mission and then you refused because you were coming home soon, understandable. Then you went on and went to the PC yard, then it sounds like. Because you're saying they wanted to put you on this mission, how you stab someone. You didn't want to do it. You said, I'm not doing it. Again, understandable. So it's either you do this and you can stay on the yard, or you don't do this, you have to get off the yard. So you didn't do it. So then they got you off the yard. First of all, that's totally wrong anyway. The thinking of that faction, that section of that car is totally wrong. That was some weak stuff to begin with. That's not how you redeem yourself for snitching. For snitching, there is no redemption. For snitching, there is no contemplation. It's an automatic, vicious, brutal, bloody removal. There's no way around it. You're getting poked up. They're trying to kill you. You can't redeem yourself. There is no go stab this person and now you're good. You still a snitch. So he gets to stay on the yard because he stabbed someone. He can stay on the yard, and you know that he's a snitch. No, he's a snitch. You got to go. You can kill 50 people. You still got to go because you're a rat. So first of all, that makes no sense anyway. I've never heard that. Not for a snitch. You can stab someone and redeem yourself in your gang, in your faction with prison politics, depending on what the infraction was. But if the transgression was that you snitched, there is no get back for that. There is no, hey, just do this and we're even. You good. You can stay here. You're still a part of the hood. You're still a part of the car. You're still a part of the faction. Still a part of the prison gang. You're still a part of the hood. No. Once you snitch, it's over. There's no negotiation. Boom, 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 boom. You got to go, bro. That's it. So I don't understand this anyway. Never heard of this. Hey, stab him and you can stay on the yard. No, man, that's a weak card. Them some weak homies. You a snitch, you got to go immediately. These are the protocols. This has been going on long before I went to prison. I didn't make these rules. That's just what it is. So this whole thing is a little off.
You get into this gang shit and you just do what everybody tells you to do, then you're going to be in a position where you got to do some crash out shit just to appease some, right? I mean, no offense to him or whatever, but you might be a smart guy with a good head on your shoulders like you, and then you got some super burnt out J-Cats that realistically don't have a future, and you're supposed to take orders from them in order to just stay in good graces, which is
graces in a black. Wait a minute, you telling me I got to do what? To who? Man, nigga told me, hey, yeah, go bust on him. Like, for what? He in debt. How much he in debt? He in debt $100. Can I pay the debt? No, you can't just pay your way. What you mean? But wait, you want me to stab this dude? Mm-hmm. Try to take this dude's life on camera over $100? Mm-hmm. I got, you know how many $100 I got?
right.
I can pay that 10 times. And how about I pay it? No, it's the principle.
The principality.
It's the principle.
Principality of it, kids. Think about that.
This band family.
This guy, the principality of what the bro? Yeah, come on, man. I'm trying to stay neutral here. I don't want to get on JHood. I don't have no problem with him personally. I don't know this man. I don't know this individual. And as I've said before, he seems to be doing positive stuff since he's been home. And he always spoke positively with his content. A couple of clips I had seen of him when he was in prison, he would always start it off with like a prayer or shout out to the Most High, or what have you. He seems serious about that. And I take that sort of stuff serious. But, certainly JHood understands. Now, we can argue all day the politics and whether this rule should be. But we cannot argue what the rule is. Now, we can displace the rule. We can get rid of the rule altogether. But as long as the rule is in place, then that's what the rule is. And yes, if someone is in debt, $100, $10, $5, or $1,000, it does not matter. They're not going to let you pay the debt off once it gets to a certain point. Not a certain part monetarily, not a certain point in money, but a certain point where you're supposed to take care of this a long time ago, gave you a chance, you didn't take care of it. You got to go. We know that people get stabbed up all of the time in prison for debt, much less than $100. It is indeed the principle, not the principality, but the principle. It is indeed the principle that if you get caught up in a situation like that, you're going to get bust on, bro. You're going to get stabbed. Maybe he could have even paid the money, the person himself at some point. It's not about that anymore. We don't want the money. We're going to stand on this principle that you should have never gotten debt to begin with, etc., whatever the situation was. JHood is saying, you want me to stab this dude over $100 and I can pay it? Bro, you know what the rules are. You know that's how it goes. People get stabbed over $5. He couldn't pay $5? Yes. It's not the money that he's getting stabbed over. It's how he comported himself to get in that situation to begin with. Period. You know this.
His family ain't got it. How? Why do you got to die because you broke?
Right.
Why you got to die because you broke?
So did that hurt you though? Having how does that actually?
You don't have to die because you broke. You have to die because you got into a situation in prison that you should not have gotten into when you know that you're broke. If you know that you're broke, then don't be getting yourself in a debt for $100, for $1, if you're broke and cannot pay that debt. Because they're going to get you, not because you're broke, but because you got yourself into a situation which then gets them all into a situation if they don't handle this. If they don't handle you, they all get into a situation over this because you're broke. Well, if you broke, you knew you was broke when you did whatever you did to owe this individual $100. So you're not getting stabbed up because you're broke. You're getting stabbed up because of your ill-advised decision to get into debt.
Happen? Like, how do you end up on the other yard? You just gotta go, hey,
No,
I'm out of here.
No, I got jumped. I got removed of 2 yards, and then IGR they sent me to a non-designated yard. You ain't gotta all you do is just go.
That's what they're talking about. SNY yard. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah. Well, it's there's really no such thing as SNY no more. It's non-designated.
Okay.
It's like
Every yarn, like they
every prison is like that.
year now.
Like every prison, if you was at fire camp, it's 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Every prison is like that.
Besides what Soledad is like us.
Except the 180s. And there's some in the 180s is like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
I'm about to say, well, bro, no, sir. No. Not every prison is like that. Let's get this straight. Let's clarify something. He just said except for the 180s. At least he said that, which is, of course, a level 4 180 yard. But no 180 is a 50-50 yard. Not one. There's not one 180 that's a 50-50 yard. And when he says that every prison is like this and every yard is like this, what he means to say, I'm sure, is that these days, because these PC yards and 50-50 yards outweigh the general population yards these days, because all of these individuals have turned coat, that they have one of these yards in every prison now. Whatever prison you go to Lancaster, you go to whatever, they got a 50-50 yard there in the prison. You on CR, the 50-50 yard is A yard. Or the PC yard is A yard. But you on DR, you on CR, you on B yard. But this prison has a PC yard or a 50-50 yard, because a lot of these prisons have these yards now because there are so many 50-50 inmates now, so many SNY inmates. They had to erect one on every yard to house these individuals. So it's not every yard, or it's like that in prison now, period, where everyone is 50-50, everyone is PC, or every yard is 50-50. No, because if that's the case, there's nowhere to, why they getting you off this yard? You are already on a 50-50 yard then. The dudes that removed you, that voted you off, they were PC. They were on the SNY yard already. It was already a 50-50 yard. Why are they voting you off to send you to a 50-50 yard though? Then you're already on one. No, it wasn't a 50-50 yard that you were on. It wasn't a PC yard that you were on. You ended up going to one. You ended up being sent to one. So just to clarify that, every yard is not PC. I damn sure wasn't on no 50-50 yard, no PC yard. I just left Centinela State Prison, April 19th, 2022. C yard, that's where I paroled from. No 50-50 there. No PC yard. Main line. GP, baby. Mandatory. Yes, sir. No. High Desert, no, it wasn't a 50-50 yard. Corcoran, no. Wasn't 50-50. It was 100% killers. Believe that. So no, not every yard is 50-50 and all that. Let's not, to justify what happened, bro, let's not start throwing everything or everyone under the bus. Talking about this is just the way it is now. No, that's not how it is. That's not how it's supposed to be. So he said he got kicked off of 2 yards. He got voted off. So, yeah, they believe something was up with this individual in this court case and this paperwork, bro. They removed him from 1 yard. He stayed strong, or like, man, I ain't going PC. Whatever happened, whatever conclusion he came up with in his own mind. And then he said, no, I'm going to another yard. So he went to another yard. Instead of going to 50-50 SNY, as they removed him from the first yard, he went to another yard. They removed him from that yard, he said. Word travels fast, of course, in prison. As I say, you're getting off the bus, they waiting on you to get off of the bus for whatever your infraction was. As soon as you hit the yard, you're gone. So they're already waiting on him when he get to the other yard. They already know what's going on. He got kicked off of this yard, bro, over here. But you can't come live over here. We ain't about to have that on our name. They kicked you off over there. And they're going to say, we let you hang out? No, we got to get you out of here. Whoa, so they got on him too. He said he got removed from 2 different yards. And then he ended up on the SNY yard. Well, if all of the yards are SNY, if all of the yards are 50-50, then how come you got removed from a second yard to go to a 50-50 yard? It was already a PC yard. It was already a 50-50 yard. No, it was not. You ended up going to one. No, I have not been in prison for 4 years, thankfully, fortunately, but I still know the goings on in prison, the happenings. I'm in constant contact with individuals that are in prison daily. I know what's happening with the 50-50 yards, and I know that these individuals who are on these 50-50 yards cannot then come to the main line, not to a level 4. They getting ran off. They getting stabbed up and beat up and ran off the yard as soon as they hit the yard, bro. It's not the same.
So it's not like 100% you're hanging out with like rapists and shit like that, because that's what they make it out to be, right?
That's kind of one of the reasons why I still stayed in jail so long. Mm-hmm. Because I can show you, I didn't remove the gang of rapists off the yard. Mm-hmm. Oh, like child molesters. That's what, that is where you really get your hands dirty. Mm. And it's like there's people call it like it's a PC yard. In my opinion, there's no such thing as PC in California.
Right. Awesome.
It used to be the case, and now it's different.
People died. There's more people dying.
All right, bro. Them 50,
those
50-50, the what?
People is dying on
with those type of allegations?
Because look, all right, on the line, right? Under the prison politics, under the prison structure, say me and you get into it. You a white boy, I'm black. Me and you get into it, you gotta be, if you want to stab me, you gotta write 10 kites to your big homies. I gotta write 10 kites to my big homies. And then he gotta say yeah, he gotta say yeah, he gotta say, somebody's gonna say no. Mm. You know what I'm saying? But if you're on a non-designated yard, a 50-50 yard, me and you get into it, we ain't gotta ask nobody nothing.
Oh, okay.
We just...
So it's crazier.
It is like Big Brother.
Wow. So when you said you stabbed 50 people, a lot of those were situations where it was just like a child.
So he's saying that they putting in work on the 50-50 yards then. That a lot of violence and all this. He said that he himself attacked many predators and snitches and all that there on the 50-50 yard. So you were on the 50-50 yard. And this is why I say that the 50-50 yards are PC and no good, not just me, but the individuals who are still on them level 4 180 yards. You can't go to a level 4 180 yard once you've been to a 50-50 yard, bro. It's not happening. They're going to run your ass off. You're getting something stuck in your neck. Trust me. And the reason that I say that these 50-50 yards are indeed PC is for this reason right here. Once you get there, you are there with rapists and molesters. Now, he said that he removed some of them. He's beating them up, snitches and all this. You're on the yard with them. You're on the yard with snitches, with rapists, with chomos. You're on the yard with them. That's no good. These individuals cannot go to the main line. That's why they're here on the yard. And now you're here on the yard with them. How are you not PC and they are if you're on the PC yard with them? Talking about half and half, 50-50. Man, it's a 50-50 equals 100. Bad. It equals 100% no good, bro.
County jail and county jail.
Oh, okay.
The 50-50 yards is like the LA County Jail.
Okay.
Except it's like the LA County Jail, except with the whole California.
Wow.
Basically.
And it's like I said, I see people dying there, bro.
Yeah.
It's people dying there. Like, they're not playing food.
Especially with them type of allegations, though. Even like, if you even on a 50-50, those like rape and like that type of shit, bro, it's gonna holler at you, bro.
Gang, bro.
Niggas still gonna go like,
Niggas not playing with you.
you got, nigga, it's still gotta think.
Oh, man. I don't know, bro. So now now they're trying to justify being on the 50-50 yard. Both of them, really. Him and his sidekick, right? They're justifying this 50-50 yard, and I'm not with that. You feel me? I'm not in prison no more, so I can't press no lie, whatever. I'm free, bro. But I'm just saying, that's all bad. That's no good. Feel me? I don't fuck with no 50-50s. No. Feel me? I had to stay strong my whole time in there. I had to stand by the rules and stay strong. Everybody has to do the same thing. And if you don't, then that's just that, bro. But don't justify it. Don't make any excuses. Don't say everyone is PC, everyone in prison is 50-50 now. It's just the way it is. No, that's not the way it is. You could have stayed on your other yard, but they voted you off for whatever reason. They said you needed to go from this yard. So everyone's not 50-50. You were not going to be 50-50 until whatever happened in that courtroom that they said you have to go over here. And then you say, they both have said, I've seen people die over there on the 50-50 yard. It's more violent, they're saying, than basically a regular main line, than the level 4 prison. There's more death on a 50-50 yard. Well, yeah. First of all, you have a bunch of rapists over there and chomos and all that. So you have plenty of people to get to. You have plenty of situations and plenty of issues. They're on a level 4 yard. There may not be as much violence, particularly these days, good, because they have already weeded out the imposters. The imposters are gone. They've been removed, beat up, stabbed up, ran off to a 50-50 yard or to a PC yard. So they don't have many issues there on the level 4 yard anymore because all of the individuals there are strong. They understand the rules and the protocols, every race, they stick to it. Now and then an issue comes up where something has to happen because they're all strong, stand-up individuals there on the yard who follow the rules. Everyone else that does not fit that description has already been weeded out and ran off. So the yard is functioning properly because we got rid of these fake individuals. We got rid of the winklings. We got rid of the weak chain. We got rid of the weak link. So yes, there may be more violence on a 50-50 yard than it is on a level 4 yard these days. It should be because you're down there on the yard and everywhere you look is someone to attack. On a level 4 yard, everywhere they look, they see a strong stand-up individual who hasn't done anything to warrant an attack. So nothing's happening there like that. Till someone breaks a rule or a protocol, something happens and he has to be removed. Generally speaking, on a regular basis, people are not transgressing against the rules because the individuals who are left are strong. The other ones have already been weeded out and sent to the 50-50 yard. And so you get over there and you go over there with all of these real PCs, snitches and chomos and rapists. And then if you have any sense of character, you say, well, I'm about to put in some work on these dudes. I'm not supposed to be over here on the 50-50 yard anyway. I'm still a gangster. I'm about to put in some work on these dudes. Then you go to work on them. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be more violence over there because you have more opportunity for violence, because you have more reasons to be violent, because you're over there with 50% of individuals who should not be walking any prison yard, cannot walk the main line.
It's still politics. It's real. You got real on them yards who ain't told on us. So ain't never, do me? But just most points came down and they just like, you feel me? And I'm super chill.
Most people on them yards are people who got dirty politics.
Really?
Or been down 30, 40 some years and they on security level ones. And
But so did it kind of hurt your pride though? Just like being in that situation, knowing that people were going to use it against you to talk shit?
Really, at first it did, but then I started thinking like, damn, once you went, I'm looking like, damn, half the people on that's still on the line, I beat their ass. Half the people that's on the line. And then when I look about it and I think about it like, dang, that's the G homie. They said he used to like rape niggas back in the crib model. Like he's like, you feel me? Like, so y'all taking orders from the G homie who used to rape niggas.
Wow.
Or like, it's just selective politicking. So I never, and at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm a man first. I am what I am. But and when I'm not, I can never be.
Right.
Yeah, that's the realest stuff said so far. You're just a man, and you are who you are, and what you're not, you can never be, and that's the truth. Shout out to JHood, bro. You know, No Jumper. I'm using their content to react to. I have no personal issues with this individual. I just want to clarify a few things. I'm reacting to it, and when I hear something, I'm gonna speak on it. Particularly if it's not adding up or if it makes no sense or whatever. I mean, I don't know, but I'm not saying that that's the case in this situation. But I'm just saying, you get removed for a reason most of the time. Sometimes the reason is wrong and it is faulty. Sometimes individuals are wrong and they have to pay for that. They have to stand for that. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm just saying that all of the prison yards are not 50-50. I don't know what happened with JHood and his case and his situation. It's none of my business, really. They took care of it right there in prison. However they handled it, they removed him from the yard, as he just admitted to, off of 2 yards and sent him to the 50-50 yard. So whatever the case, they felt like it was something that warranted that. Whether that was true or not, I don't know. Because I've already said, as I've said, and I'll say it again, that if he got on the stand and said that this dude was trying to kill him and so I killed him instead, and I don't see that as snitching. So if they removed him for that, then I would disagree with that. If that's all it was, I would have said no. If I was there and I had a vote, I'd have said no. Hell no, we're not removing him for that's not snitching, bro. That's what I'd have said. So I agree that that's not snitching. Let me make that clear. You try to kill me and I'll pop you instead, and I had to get on the stand. Hey, I'm gonna say you tried to kill me, man. You dead. You can't go to prison. Shit, I'm sorry, bro. I'm trying to stop from going to prison for the rest of my life. So yeah, I get that. If that's what happened and that's all that happened, then he should not have been removed. Period. As far as I'm concerned, I wasn't there. I didn't make the decision. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they feel like, this is what he's telling us. We have to take him for his word. I don't know if those individuals saw something different or felt like it was more than just that, because like I said, just that right there, you come telling me that on a prison yard, I'm like, oh, you good. Not finna stab you up, beat you up, and get you out of here. A young, strong homie that's putting in work, stabbing 50 people and busting 10 heads. We need you. Not so quick to just get rid of our own people like that unless you have done something, especially a good one, a strong individual, a rider. You come and say, this all you have done, I'm saying, hell no, we ain't removing a young homie for this. You good, bro. So for them to still say, after you explain the situation or they saw the paperwork or whatever, for them to still say, nah, man, you got to go, or try to get you to stab someone in order to stay, which is, again, just the craziest thing I've ever heard for snitching. Can't stay on the yard. But I'm not here to litigate the case. I'm just here to react to the story. That's JHood. That's what he had to say. So I'm just reacting. Let me know what you all think in the comments. Stay safe and stay free, people.